Fox 19 Now begins with breaking news.
That's right. We continue to follow this breaking news. Aerial footage over the Ross Correctional Institute in Chillicothe, where authorities now say nearly 30 people have been washed off. You're looking at it live right there for a possible drug exposure. We're going to take you there in just a moment. Also, right now, we are tracking some rain. Good afternoon. Hope you're having a good one. I'm Tricia Mackey. The chief, Steve Horsemeyer's in the First Alert Weather Center.
Well, thank you, Tricia. Yeah, the rain that's coming our way and developing for the evening is going to be hit and miss, scattered showers and thunderstorms. We do not expect severe storms, but there might be a brief heavy downpour in a few locations. You can see the line of showers and thunderstorms developing right there, just north of Versailles, Indiana. If we take a little bit closer look at it, you can see it's just isolated showers, nothing really intense. And as it heads to the east, it's moving due east, it'll make it to Bright by 4 o'clock, so just about now. Miller by 4:13, Miamitown 4:21, Springfield Township at 4:38, Miami Township at 4:51. And if we zoom back out, you can see there's just not much else coming in with it. Most of the rainfall is going to stay south of the Louisville area. So if you're heading out this evening, prepare yourself for a little bit of a shower in a few locations. Again, it's not widespread. Not everybody's going to get rain. By 9 o'clock, we're looking at temperatures still in the 70s. It's going to be muggy out there and scattered shower activity off to the south and east. By the morning commute, it looks dry. We'll have more on that coming up, Tricia.
Steve, thanks. Well, you don't see this every day. This is breaking news going on in Chillicothe. Look at this aerial footage showing prison workers, as you see right there, being hosed down, doused off after authorities say they may have been exposed to the deadly drug fentanyl. This is happening at the Ross Correctional Institute. Let's give you an idea where it is. If you look at the map right there, it's a little more than 100 miles east of here, about a 2-hour drive. Our Lauren Artino is live in Ross County. She has the latest.
Yeah, Tricia, good afternoon. We got a final update from Adena Medical Center officials today. Just a few moments ago, they confirmed for us that 22 of the 24 patients brought over from Ross Correctional here to the hospital were treated and released. One was admitted into the hospital, one still in observation. Now, doctors could not officially tell us and confirm if they were exposed to fentanyl, of course, in the powder form. They did say, though, they are just treating the symptoms as they present themselves. Of course, the institution and the hospital were cleaned and closed off and quarantined. I asked what people exactly were dealing with when they first walked into the hospital, when they were brought in to be treated. They told me lightheadedness, nauseous, people were sleepy and tired. Of course, they had to administer Narcan to a few people, but we asked doctors here earlier during that press conference how many people. They said they are not sure. Now, you should be looking at some video from the scene earlier today. Definitely some very tense, very scary moments. I actually spoke with a woman who was visiting her fiance inside the institution. She said she felt safe. They heard there was a medical situation going on. They were in there for about an hour or two. Then they left. You'll be able to hear from her later today. I'm putting a story together with some more information on that. You'll also hear from hospital officials as well.
Got a message, hey, we got a problem out here in the prison. Somebody put fentanyl in the ductwork, and there's like 40 of them so far. I said, what prison? Found out that it was RCI and called my sister-in-law. Actually, my sister-in-law called me, and then I called her back and said, we gotta go. Grabbed the Narcan, so we brung Narcan. As of right now, we just got word that they flew in 2,000 doses of Narcan.
And that woman you just heard from works with Cheryl's House of Hope. It is a women's rehab center here in Chillicothe. She told me actually she brought Narcan with her, the two of them, she and the woman she was with, in case they needed to help. They were not called in to help, of course, but they shared some information with us about exactly just how scary that situation was for them as well. Doctors, though, back to what they just told us a few moments ago, they said they saved more than a few lives possibly today because of just the severity of the situation. Never seen anything like this before. Again, you will hear more from them coming up at 6:30. For now, Lauren Artino, Fox 19 Now.
Lauren, thanks. Right now, Lincoln Heights' mother is locked up on $50,000 bond after investigators say her 3-year-old got a hold of her gun and shot himself. 30-year-old Daisha Daniels made her first court appearance today. She's currently charged with obstructing official business because investigators say she initially lied about what happened. This all happened yesterday afternoon. If you watched us yesterday, you saw we were live right here all throughout the 4 o'clock news at 77 Craft Street in Winton Terrace. After driving the child to the hospital, police say Daniels told them she heard a pop. She ran out. She saw her child bleeding from the left thigh and saw 2 men and a woman run from the scene. The only problem is, police say she lied. In fact, they say nothing ever happened here. Police say Daniels later admitted that it happened over here in the 1400 block of Dantzler Drive in Lincoln Heights, her residence. They say she admitted leaving her purse on a stove with a 9mm inside, that her child got a hold of the gun while looking for a phone charger and shot himself. A grand jury is expected to hear the case September 7th. Union Township Police in Clermont County confirm at this hour that a 14-year-old boy has died after accidentally shooting and killing himself. According to a 911 call we just received, the boy's friend says the two were FaceTiming when the 14-year-old put the pistol up to his head, not realizing that there was a live round in the chamber. We continue to gather more on the story details as we get it. There was a standoff in Lower Price Hill, and it is now over after police say the person responsible for it doused himself in gasoline. Police say the landlord of the building in the 1400 block of State Street called them to say a tenant had a gun, and when police got there, they say 48-year-old George Huntz doused himself with gas and then went inside the building. A short time later, police say he did surrender. Right now in Campbell County, the jury in the Shayna Hubers murder retrial is deliberating how much time she will spend behind bars. Hubers could be sentenced to life for killing her boyfriend, Ryan Poston. Our Mike Schell is at the Campbell County Courthouse with the latest.
The jury had a chance to hear from both families before beginning their deliberations this afternoon. There was never a doubt that Shayna Huber shot and killed Ryan Poston in October 2012. And after the jury returned a guilty verdict for murder last night, the only question remaining was how much time she would have to spend behind bars. Ryan Poston's family and Shayna Huber's mother were asked to explain how this killing has affected them and their loved ones.
This woman has stolen my entire life. She has stolen my will to live.
This is a nightmare that we can't wake up from. He's gone, and none of us got to say goodbye.
Shayna, as I said, is my only child. I am alone. The only person I have to talk to that I can communicate with who still has their mind is Shayna.
Coming up at 6:30, a voice from beyond the grave. Poston's family says a simple phone recording is all they have left to remember him by. Reporting from Newport, Mike Schell, Fox 19 Now.
This is breaking right now. I am talking to Michelle Snodgrass. She is the prosecutor in Campbell County. She said within the last minute they came back, and she just told me she got life. We are working on that. Mike Schell is in the courtroom right now. Since we are the pool camera, he's having a hard time getting out. But as soon as we get more details on that, but again, the Campbell County prosecutor, Michelle Snodgrass, just texted me and said that Shayna Hubers did in fact get life. More on that in just a moment. Caught on camera, people going bananas in all kinds of places, including a place called Go Bananas. The video and the story straight ahead.
The Bengals have signed 2 of the anchors of their defense, and one of them, who never talks to the media, spoke with Fox 19 Now today.
Scattered showers, that is, and thunderstorms will produce a brief heavy downpour, but be gone before tomorrow morning. We'll time it out for you coming up.
This is breaking now. Just moments ago, the jury reached the sentencing phase in the trial, the retrial, the murder retrial of Shayna Hubers, and the prosecutor in Campbell County did tell me via text that she did get life in prison, and they're still in court right now. There's a podium set up, and we are waiting for them to make some kind of a statement, and we're also going to be talking to the Campbell County prosecutor, Michelle Snodgrass, in just a moment. But right now, they're still in the courtroom because this is happening right now. Shayna Hubers, again, sentenced to life in prison for murdering her boyfriend, Ryan Poston. Right now, bad news for the Cleveland Browns. It never ends for them, does it? In fact, some fans call them a factory of sadness. And now there's this. Linebacker Michael Kendricks, who they just got from the Super Bowl champion Eagles and just played the Giants the other night, has admitted to insider trading. And he could go to jail. Better news for the Bengals and two of their players. Jeremy Rao is at Paul Brown Stadium with the very latest on that.
Yeah, the Bengals made it official last night, signing two of the anchors of their defense, Geno Atkins on a 4-year extension, Carlos Dunlap on a 3-year extension. And listen, Geno Atkins never, ever talks to the media. So a few hours ago when Geno took the podium and spoke at length about his extension, it was a bit surprising.
I mean, they're the team that drafted me. I love it here. I love the city. I love the organization. And it's something to kind of submit my legacy here. And I think that's important to kind of finish where I started. And I basically want to we got unfinished business, this whole team, me and Los, and trying to bring a Super Bowl to Cincinnati.
Both of them were on the podium for about 30 minutes. Geno Atkins spoke most of the time. You will hear more from Geno coming up tonight at 6:30 and 10 and 11. At PBS, Jeremy Rao, Fox 19 Now.
Jeremy, thanks. For the first time, Pope Francis has addressed a crowd at the Vatican about the sex abuse scandal, what he said after meeting with abuse survivors. Next. And we're going to show you what a group of truckers did to save the life of a suicidal man. And a whole lot of shaking going on inside a local liquor store. It's not so local. We'll explain that coming up. So this is literally breaking within the last few minutes. A verdict, the sentencing phase in the murder retrial of Shayna Hubers has just been handed down. The prosecutor in that case, Michelle Snodgrass, texted me literally seconds ago, telling me that Hubers did receive life. And Mike Schell has been covering this trial. He's been inside the courtroom since day one. Mike joins us over the phone because he can't get out right now of the courtroom. But we wanted to find out what was going on in there. So, Mike, can you recap what exactly the sentence is and what happened today?
Yeah, the sentencing today is, like you said, Tricia, 20 years, or rather life in prison. But she would only have to serve 20 years before she is eligible for parole. She was sentenced to 40 years in prison in her first trial, but of course that trial was thrown out due to a technicality. So in Kentucky, there really is no difference between a 24-year prison sentence and a life prison sentence. As far as parole is concerned, it's still 20 years is the maximum that she would have to wait before she is eligible for parole. The only difference this would make is if the parole board would say that she had to finish out her sentence, then instead of a 40 or 50-year sentence, it would be life. So really no difference. Then why would she take the risk of doing the retrial and getting more time? Well, she did get more time from 40 to life, but again, she would be eligible for parole after 20 years.
So, Mike, today I know there were several people that did take the stand. They did speak before the sentence was handed down, and then the jury took all day to deliberate. Can you tell us who spoke today and what did they have to say?
It was one of the most emotional times in the courtroom I have seen. We heard from Ryan Poston's father, who said that Ryan had a heart of gold and that Shayna Hubers took advantage of him, took advantage of his kindness. We heard also from Ryan Poston's stepsister, who brought a stuffed teddy bear onto the stand. And what they did is they embedded a device in the teddy bear's paw that holds a recording from Ryan Poston's phone. So it's his phone greeting. And she tearfully said, this is how we can hear Ryan now. This is the only way that we can hear Ryan now. No more Thanksgivings, no more Christmases. But, it's been 5 Thanksgivings and Christmases that this Poston family has gone through since the death of Ryan Poston. She said, Katie Carter, who is his stepsister, said that, we still leave the door open, still leave a place set, and still leave a chair for Ryan at Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner, something that Shayna Hubers can do at some point in her life. We also heard from Shayna Hubers' mom, who, again, was very emotional, saying that she understood the Poston's grief, but she said that, her daughter was taken away from her as well, and her family grieves as well.
And you know what, Mike, the one thing that was different in this trial compared to the first trial that you talked about a little bit earlier is that she took the stand in the second trial, and she did have a lot of stuff to say. The defense took a little bit of a leap with some of the direction that she went in, because they really disparaged the victim in this, talking about these sexual problems and all of that kind of stuff. And then Michelle Snodgrass, the prosecutor, would talk about how there were 50,000 texts and not one of them were negative from Ryan Poston to Shayna Hubers. So evidently the jury listened to all of that.
Yes, she said that, Shayna Hubers was not afraid of Ryan Poston, that out of all those tens of thousands of text messages, not one time did Ryan Poston threaten Shayna Hubers. Now, Hubers' defense was that she was physically and mentally abused by Poston, that he would pull her hair and felt like she was going to snap her neck. We had that on yesterday. I don't know if you remember that, but just that there was that he was just overbearing and controlling and degraded her, called her a hillbilly and things of that nature. And as you mentioned, the sexual context of this trial really went deep into their sexual affair. It was really quite extraordinary. It was, Mike. Okay, Mike, thanks a lot for joining us live from the courtroom. We're going to check back in with you at 4:30, give us more information. Also, we're going to show you a little bit more of when she was talking to police, where she didn't know that she was on camera. We saw that last night for the first time at 10 o'clock. So again, Shayna Hubers, mandatory 20 years before parole eligibility, minus the 5 years, 10 months already served. And that was Mike Shell live from the courtroom. Steve, let's send it over to you with your first alert weather forecast.
Well, thank you, Tricia. Yeah, we've got showers and thunderstorms developing around the tri-state. Nothing severe and nothing widespread. A brief heavy downpour is possible, and as we zoom in here, you can see the lightning firing up there in the northern Ripley County. So showers and thunderstorms extending along this area. I'm going to walk over into the Weather Center. We're going to track this out for you for a little, show you where some of those cells are going. So what we have here, we'll move the map so we can get a better fix on it. They're moving to the east at about 24 miles an hour. So the one you see there near I-74 is going to be into Norwood at 443, Columbia Township by 453, Union Township at 510, and Stone Lick Township at 519. The one here in northern Ripley County is going also about 24 miles an hour. It'll make it to Sunman by 435, Kelso Township by 454, into Bright by 507, and it's heading for Whitewater Township by 519. And if you look at the wider view here, you can see that there really isn't that much rain along that front. Now, that frontal system, we were talking about bringing us some relief, but it looks like it's not going to bring us as much relief as we thought earlier. So it's all moving off to the east. This cloud cover's here for tomorrow. That'll keep it cooler but still humid. And then we are headed for a nice day on Friday with humidity still on the high side. So tomorrow, upper 70s on the hours. In between that time, we'll make it into the low 80s. We do begin to see some clearing late in the day, and notice the winds out of the north, so it will look a little bit better. So here's what we're looking at, and if I go over here, you can see it a little bit better. 7 p.m. on Wednesday, that's today, we're looking at the shower activity moving through the metro area, pushing off to the east. As it does that, it's going to dry out, and tomorrow morning's commute looks dry. So we're looking at high temperatures on the warm side with heat indices into the 90s the next couple of days. It doesn't look like much relief coming our way, and then those heat indices make it into the upper 90s next week. So 69 and 82 with any rain ending by dawn tomorrow morning. So your morning commute looks dry. Partly cloudy Friday with a high of 85. Slightly lower humidity there, but the humidity is right back for the weekend. 87 Saturday, 89 on Sunday. Both days just a chance of a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. For Labor Day, partly cloudy, around 90 degrees. The heat index in the mid-90s. I think the heat index in the mid-90s Tuesday and Wednesday also with actual high temperatures in the low 90s. Of course, you can always track it using the First Alert Weather app. It's free for your iPhone, your iPad, your Android operating system device.
Steve, thanks. So right now, we're going to take a live look inside the Campbell County Courthouse where family and friends, the prosecutor, all involved in the Shayna Hubers case are expected to speak right there momentarily. Again, Shayna Hubers, just sentenced to life in prison for killing her boyfriend, Ryan Poston. We'll take you back to the courthouse as soon as we can. Caught on camera, look at this. 4 people go bananas at Go Bananas. It happened in the Chicago area. Watch this as at least 4 adults throw punches and trash cans at each other. But right now we're going to dump out of that. We're going to take you live to Campbell County and their press conference. Okay. That is the prosecutor, Michelle Snodgrass.
I'm surprised really that the verdict recommended anyway was more stringent than the one that was recommended last night. The sentencing, not the verdict. Of course, I apologize. The sentencing was more severe than the one last night.
When we first found out that there was going to be another trial, we all got together and we said that everything happens for a reason. And the one thing that didn't happen in the first trial was the sentence that we wanted, which was life. So we kind of looked at this as our chance to get what we believe is justice for Ryan.
What was your reaction to this sentence when you heard that? Mr. Poston, maybe you could tell us what was your reaction when you heard that?
Would you mind moving close to the mic, sir?
Will
Thank
do.
you very much. Thank you.
Our reaction was, from the second, like Michelle said, we heard this about the second trial, our reaction was that there was a reason for this, that we needed, that 40 years the first time just wasn't enough, and that this sent a clear message of life that this is justice for us. And we are so incredibly grateful to Bill Birkenhauer and all of the Highland Heights Police Department for their incredible work. We are so grateful to Michelle Snodgrass and her team, is just her passion for dedication. She has led us for 6 years. Her experience is something that is just incredibly valuable in that courtroom, something that we, the citizens of Campbell County, desperately need to keep there. So we are eternally grateful to Kyle Burns, to Cheryl Heater, to all of them, their whole staffs. They have just gone above and beyond, and they have given us a tremendous gift to Ryan, and we just thank them from the bottom of our hearts.
6 years, very difficult for you, very difficult for the prosecutorial team, difficult for the Highland Heights Police Department, for the whole county.
Peter,
you mentioned up on the stand there today the impact, and then Peter certainly could weigh in on that as well.
What's the impact?
The question, the impact. You mentioned it very eloquently from the podium today. Just repeat some of those comments.
Yeah, I'll let Peter talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the impact is just devastating for everyone, because it isn't just one life that Ryan touched. He touched all of us. And, we didn't learn until Ryan's funeral about the people that he had touched that were his clients. There was a guy who was deaf in both ears, and Ryan was helping him with a traffic ticket because he felt bad for the guy and tried to help him. And he came to his funeral and told me what a wonderful guy Ryan was because of that. So the devastation that Katie and Jay talked about today was the personal devastation on our family. But when it comes to the broader community, he touched a lot of people. We've gotten notes from people all over the world, because Ryan went to school in various places as we lived all over the world, and they've all reached out to us to tell us that they're with us, they're praying for us. So that's the kind of loss and the hole that it leaves, as Katie said, a hole in her heart, because that's what it feels like to all of us.
You talked, Tom, about the long journey. And this has been a long journey. And I know the very first time I met with Ryan's family, I told them that we would be in this for years. And it doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't.
No.
All that matters is that you end up getting the justice that Ryan deserves.
And that Ryan believed in. Ryan believed in the justice system. Always. Always. And it has not failed him.
Or us. And and those jurors, those 14 jurors that went through all of that, we have the utmost respect for those people. And in this jury and the previous one, I mean, it takes a lot to sit there and listen to all of that and come to a decision. And yet they did, and they came to a great decision, not just for us, but the right decision, the just decision.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of faith in this jury. We knew that they would make the right decision for Ryan, for the community, because this is a crime that doesn't just impact these families. It's a crime that impacts our community. And that's what we were looking for today, was to send the message that this is not okay.
It's not. And very few people of Campbell County ever see the inside of that courtroom. Thank God. But what Michelle does, what her team does every day, impacts every citizen of Campbell County. It makes our community safer. It makes our loved ones safer. And we have seen firsthand for 6 years what this woman and her team does.
True dedication.
And it is phenomenal.
They're our heroes.
They are. They will forever be a member of our families.
That didn't just happen by...
And his spirit throughout this, was he with you?
He has been with us all the way. He actually, a friend just told me before we came up here that his wife last night woke up, and at the base of her bed, Ryan looked at her and said, "I got this."
Is this Justice Jay? Is this Justice Michelle? Is this Justice Peter?
This is
Absolutely.
justice.
This is justice.
This is the
Absolutely.
justice he
This didn't
deserves.
happen just magically, though. I mean, it took a lot of work because the defense, I mean, they had a good plan. And was there a key you felt like in getting this justice, Michelle?
Well, the key in getting the justice is telling the truth. And I think that's what we have focused on since October 12th, 2012. You can put any spin on it you want, but the truth is the truth. And that's what we wanted to be heard in that courtroom. I hope that is what the jury heard, and I can guarantee you that they based their decision today on the truth.
Were Shana Huber's words against her the most powerful evidence that you had?
We don't talk about her.
The idea of jury the first time around 40 years, this time life in prison. Is there a difference you can point to in how the trial was conducted that might have triggered that in their minds?
Facts are the facts.
I think it's hard.
We don't know.
I think it's hard, and I don't really want to try to get into the minds of the jurors. I just want to say how much I appreciate the time and the effort that they put into this. I think it was evident by the work that the jury did.
I know closure is one of those cliches that if you don't experience something like this, you probably can't ever have it. But is this as close to closure as you can get from, quote unquote, the system?
This is justice.
This is justice
That's
from the
about all.
system. There is
That's,
never
you know,
closure.
There will never be closure. He'll never walk through that door again.
No.
What do you miss most about him? How you go?
You'd have to have about, maybe 5 to 10 years. Then we could go through what we will miss about Ryan.
She misses his hug. He
His hug.
used to hug her
Always, and told
all
me
the
he
time.
loved me.
And she said, she's always told me, I miss his bear hug.
I will-
Because that's who he was.
I will forever miss the possibilities. We will never know the incredible possibilities that Ryan Poston would have given to this earth. He was a tremendously gifted young man. The sky was the
Sense of
limit.
community.
A United States senator, a congressman, anything was within his grasp. He was a tremendously gifted young man.
With a true sense of community.
True sense of everything right. He was raised right. It's just that simple. Lisa and Peter and I came together many years ago as a team, and we raised a very good son.
You talk about bear hugs. Talk about the teddy bear. Whose idea was that?
That was our daughter,
That was Katie.
Catherine.
Katie,
Come here, Catherine.
come here. Come here. She didn't tell any of us, or Michelle, or
Can you
anybody
talk
about
about that a
this.
little bit?
The teddy bear went off the other day when I was playing with Henry. Nobody had touched it. So I thought, these people don't know who Ryan is. They'll never get to meet him. So why don't I bring a piece of Ryan there into that courtroom and show them who he is, the softness of his voice. Just through a voicemail, you can tell who a person is. That was just came to me when I was playing with Henry.
Yeah, and somebody asked about closure, and I don't think anything that can be done in a courtroom can really fix anything. It can't be that closure, but what we always hope is that once this court case is over, that they can at least start a different type of healing. It will never go away, but I think that will allow them to begin another phase of their life. Unfortunately, it's a phase that's without Ryan, and that will be their new reality.
And the simple truth is, for 6 years, we've been living with this, and it's been very difficult. It puts your life on hold. Everything else takes a backseat. You really can't make plans. You really can't look too far into the future. Without question, the number one goal in the last 6 years for all of us was justice for Ryan, and we got it today, and we are eternally grateful to all of you.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So you were just listening in live to that press conference that the prosecutor and Ryan Poston's father and stepfather and mother and sister all spoke. They were very grateful that the jury reached the sentencing that they did. 20 years, they gave her a life sentence, Shana Hubers, this woman right here who was found guilty of murdering Ryan Poston, shooting him multiple times, 6 times to be exact. One time boasting to police that she gave him the nose job he always wanted by shooting him in the face, that he was gurgling. In her own words, he was still gurgling after she shot him a few times, so she wanted to shoot him a little bit more to put him out of his misery. But you heard the family talk about how this is a clear message of life, that this was justice, and complimented the prosecutor in this, because this has been 6 years coming. This was the second trial. The first trial ended in a guilty verdict, but it was thrown out after a juror did not disclose on his application that he had a felony arrest. So they had to throw that out and go back into court, go through this whole thing once again. But again, today, the sentencing was handed down for Shayna Hubers. It is a life sentence, and you just heard at the press conference. We'll have more after this. So just within the last half hour, there was breaking news. The jury did hand down a sentence in the Shayna Hubers trial. They gave her life for shooting and killing her on-again, off-again boyfriend, Ryan Poston, shooting him multiple times at one point during a police interrogation where she was seen both with the police officers and also talking when the police officers were outside the room, but the video was still going, boasting about how she did it, kind of dancing around at one point, talking about she always wanted to give Ryan Poston the nose job he always got, shot him in the face a few times, shot him, in fact, 6 times. She was on the stand this second trial talking about that they had a pretty, that he was abusive to her. It was a pretty tumultuous relationship. The jury did not buy that. And now 6 years after his death, the jury handed down their sentence of life in prison. Just a short time ago, we heard from the prosecutor in Campbell County, Michelle Snodgrass, as well as Ryan Poston's father, stepfather, mom, sister, all talking about how this isn't closure for them, because there never will be closure, but this today was justice, that Shayna Hubers did receive life in prison. Okay, so we are going to go back to the courthouse in just a little bit, but right now we are going to give you more breaking news. This is breaking now. Parts of Hamilton Avenue, they're closed in North College Hill for a crash involving an officer. We are told that it's a head-on collision between the officer and another driver. It's in the 6100 block. So far, not a lot of details have been released. That's pretty much all we know. We don't know the extent of injuries. We do have a crew, however, on the scene. We will bring you more right here on air and always on the Fox 19 Now free mobile app. Steve?
Well, thank you, Trish. Yeah, showers and thunderstorms popping up around the tri-state. No severe weather, but brief heavy downpours are possible. We'll take a look at where they're going and how long they'll last in a couple minutes.
Got on camera, look at this. I started to tell you about this a little bit ago. This is so crazy. It's actually bananas. Go Bananas at Go Bananas. It happened in the Chicago area. At least 4 adults throwing punches. They're throwing trash cans at each other. And of course, all in front of the kids. At one point, this woman even grabbed a mop and she used it as a weapon. See it right there? Nobody arrested in the fight, but this is not the comedy club, by the way. This is another place. On the website, it says, Go Bananas offers the ultimate family entertainment experience and the best kids' birthday parties. Yeah, you can say that again. Orlando, a group of truckers helped police save a suicidal man. The truckers lined up their 18-wheelers under an overpass as the man hung over the side of a fence. After more than an hour, police were able to talk the man down, but the truckers stayed the entire time in case he did jump. South Korea, heavy rain caused deadly flooding. Local news agencies say close to 700 buildings were flooded across multiple cities and provinces. Brownsville, Washington, this was an abandoned mine. Crews found in the water near a marina. After towing it away safely and getting everyone out of the area, they blew it up. It's unclear where that mine came from. Navy officials say it appeared to have decades worth of marine growth on it. Spain, food fight. This tomato fight, or the so-called Tomatina food fight days back to the 1945 when villagers conducted an impromptu tomato throwing battle. For you tomato lovers out there.
Yeah, but they say they're all rotten.
Yeah, they're all rotten. But wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that hurt? You got like beamed in the head?
Yeah, but I think
totally hurt.
I think the event would take away any of the sting.
I would like it.
Okay, take a look at radar. We've got some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity rolling through the tri-state. Nothing severe, and not everybody gets wet. We'll take a look at it coming up.
We continue to follow this breaking news. Shayna Huber sentenced to life in prison for the murder of Ryan Poston. It happened just within the half hour. And joining me live over the phone is the Campbell County prosecutor, Michelle Snodgrass. Michelle, thanks for being with us.
Sure. Thanks, Tricia.
So we heard your press conference just a short time ago, surrounded by the family of Ryan Poston, and they really were very thankful for you for giving up all of your time for the past 6 years. And they say, even though it wasn't closure for them, it was justice for them. Do you feel the same way? This was justice?
Absolutely. You know, we got the max that we could get in the courtroom. I don't think there is anything that could happen in court that would help this family heal, but knowing that the jury saw the truth and that the jury found fit to give her a life sentence, I think is the best thing the family could have ever asked for.
Now, I'm going to armchair quarterback at this a little bit. Was it a good idea for the defense to put Shayna Hubers on the stand this time around, in your opinion?
You know, it's hard for me to comment on what's good for them or what isn't good for them. I can only tell you this. It was important for us and important for Ryan's family for the jury to be able to see what we have seen all these years, and that's someone who is not honest with anyone. It's hard to trust her message when everything that she says seems to be not supported by the facts.
You also had quite a few big items in your pocket, the tens of thousands of texts from Ryan Poston, none of which were disparaging, and also all of the camera footage when Shayna was talking to police. Those had to play big roles.
Well, I think the one thing that the social media gave us was a glimpse inside their relationship, so that no matter what Shayna Huber said on the stand, we could contradict that with Ryan Poston's own words, which is something that's very rare in a murder case. We were actually able to bring Ryan into the courtroom through those text messages. And of course, I've said this many times, there's nothing much more powerful that I can say that Shayna Hubers didn't say on that recording.
Mm-hmm. That was unbelievable. For the first time during the 10 o'clock news last night, I heard that where she was kind of celebrating that she did it. I hadn't heard that before.
And she danced. I don't know what shows more of a celebration than her dancing within hours after she put 6 bullets into Ryan Poston's body. That, to me, was very powerful, and I think the jury saw that as well.
She also, one of the things that Shayna Hubers also boasted about talking to police is that she finally gave Ryan the nose job he always wanted.
Pretty harsh words, aren't they? That's extremely hard. You combine that with the fact that she claims that Ryan Poston would have wanted her to put him out of his misery. We never want someone taking away our decision-making power, and that's exactly what happened on October 12th of 2012. She took away every decision that Ryan Poston could have made for himself.
Michelle Snodgrass, thanks for joining us live. The Campbell County prosecutor, the family of Ryan Poston, as you heard a little bit earlier, thanks you from the bottom of their hearts. And Michelle, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Steve, I'm going to send it over to you for a look at the forecast.
A little bit of rain out there, Tricia. We are talking about showers and thunderstorms developing. We've been watching these throughout the afternoon. Again, 2 important things, nothing severe and nothing that extreme. Just kind of garden variety thunderstorms. If we zoom in a little bit here, you can see from Hamilton County back towards Lawrenceburg into the northern part of Dearborn across Ripley County, shower and thunderstorm activity. We'll take the cloud cover off so you can see it a little bit better. And in addition, we're starting to see some develop around Goshen here in Anderson Township between 275 and Batavia. Let's take a closer look here. So basically from Columbia Township to Springfield Township all the way over to North Bend, a little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity around the tri-state. In Dearborn County from Kelso Township right there along I-74 all the way down to just north of Dillsboro. Ripley County, pretty much most of the county's got a little bit of rain or thunder. And again, nothing severe, nothing really heavy, just garden variety thunderstorms. Brookville, you're getting a little bit of rain. Greensburg is also. And then throughout the evening, we'll see scattered showers and thunderstorms, and they'll be gone for the most part by 10 p.m. No rain coming in from the west. If we had the cloud cover, that's tomorrow's weather, and that'll keep the temperature down a little bit. So your forecast for tomorrow looks like this. Up into the lower 80s in between hours. We go from a cloudy morning, we begin to see some clearing late in the day. Winds out of the northwest, so a little bit lower humidity, but not that much relief, and that's why the 3 question marks are there. So here's 7 p.m. The shower and thunderstorm activity moves off to the east. By 11, it's gone out of the Fox 19 Now viewing area, and it stays dry for your morning commute. Cloudy, warm, still muggy, but a little bit cooler, not in the 70s in most areas. And that means we're going to be seeing some improvement during the day tomorrow with that clearing later on. But the important thing, a dry morning commute. Tonight's low 69, high tomorrow about 82. Any rain ends long before dawn. Partly cloudy on Friday, 85. Should be a pretty nice day. We're looking at chance of a shower or thunderstorm, 87, and quite humid on Saturday. Humid again on Sunday with a high of 89, and the chance for a few showers or thunderstorms. Again, mostly a dry day. For Labor Day, partly cloudy. Nice. Hot and humid, but nice because it's going to be dry, so your picnic should not have a problem. 90 degrees with the chance of a shower popping up on Tuesday, 91 on Wednesday, another chance of a shower or thunderstorm. So we go right back into that hot and humid weather. Of course, you can always track it wherever you are, whenever you want, by using the First Alert Weather app, the Weather Center in the palm of your hand. We'll be right back after this.
You know, during this hour of news, the big news of the day was the sentencing of Shayna Hubers. And coming up on Rob's podcast in just a minute, you can sound off about that. You can also ask questions of the prosecutor, Campbell County prosecutor, Michelle Snodgrass.
Yeah,
she's going to be joining you.
Yeah, I'm going to ask her about that process. We talked about it yesterday. That's the first time I saw that tape.
Me too.
You saw her when she didn't know she was being taped, saying, I did it, I did it, I did it. Yeah.
Kind of shocking.
It really was. So,
And you never know,
perspective.
and you never know what the jury saw and what like stuck in their minds. But if you have somebody that that openly admits that she shot this guy and that she's dancing around, which doesn't think she's on camera, they had to play a part. Don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, because that is seared in your memory that she was acting like that after shooting and killing her boyfriend.
Just a few hours later.
Yeah.
Podcast is going on right now. Stick around.
Fox 19 Now never stops. Take us with you wherever you go. Download the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app for live street-level radar in your neighborhood. And Lightning Tracker, warning you the instant lightning is detected near you. Search Fox 19 First Alert Weather in the App Store or Google Play.